Hey there guys, this is Obsidian Chill. Got another video for today, and this is a video that I've had in the back burner for a while that I wanted to have out, just in terms of just general FYI knowledge, and for myself as well. So in this video I would be breaking down league hall buffs versus none. So basically what type of damage comparison, damage difference are you going to have if you're not in a league hall versus if you are in league hall and have max buffs. So for this video, we're setting up his gadgets. We have solar, strategist card, and transformation. The only difference really is you'd have Grim if you were on live servers gadgets, but I didn't want the pet damage interfering and throwing anything off, because I mean these buffs aren't going to affect pets at all. I'm using a typical gadgets melee rotation, which is going to be Cyclone Push, Clip with Suppressor Turret, Jump Cancel, and Vortex Cannon, Implosion Mine, P-Dart, and then P-Dart Clip with Stealth, and Stealth EMP. The only difference really from live server would be that you would do Cuff them and then Jump Clip Cuff them into EMP pulse for a little bit extra damage, but I mean for the sake of this I'm not going to do that. So the rotation looks something like this. And just kind of repeat that for, I did 30 parses of 30 seconds, so that's 15 minutes of DPSing, enough to account for any crit bias or strategy card buffs or anything like that. So that's a good sample size. And then after that, doing those 30 parses without being in a league, what I did was I went ahead and made a league just for a video, because that's how dumb this is. And then I bought all the proficiencies to max it out. So I did compare the 30 parses of 30 seconds before and the 30 parses of 30 seconds afterwards. So let's take a look and see what the results are. Okay, so before I touch on the results, I just wanted to once again confirm that's my base loadout, base might, the artifacts I was using, and my base stats on the left hand side, and the right hand side is after the league hall buffs have been applied. So what league hall buffs specifically not only impact this test, but your player's damage specifically. So I got the damage out, so increase your leagues or technically your player's damage by 3% for 30 days. We've got critical attack chance, and damage by 1%, and then might and precision for might and precision increased by 3%. I mean, technically other ones will help you just as much, like power and supercharge by 5%. It's not going to impact this test specifically, but obviously these buffs are handy as well. But the main ones that if you're in a league and say you're kind of struggling for prestige, if you want to maximize your damage, it's just going to be those 3: damage out, critical attack, and might and precision. And then seeing how much those 3 actually impact your stats and how impact your damage, let's take a look here. So as you can see, all my criticals go up by 1, might 1776. If you did the exact math on that, it's not going to be 3% based on how the artifacts buff your base might. So it's going to be slightly different there. But on the left hand side, we got the baseline parsers with no league buffs, so about 86k, 2.5 mil, and then averaged out to about 133 hits and 43% on the criticals. That's 30 parsers at 30 seconds. And then on the right hand side, now that I have the league buffs applied, I'm at 96k, so an increase of about 10k damage per second. And then I'm sitting at just under 3 mil, so that an increase of almost 500,000 damage per parse. And then my hits was marginal, probably just an extra couple strategy card ticks, which, you know, an extra strategy card tick at an extra 1700k might. No, not 1700k, 1700 might. It's going to be marginal. If you see my strategy card video, that's not that much of an increase to impact it. You'd have to go like an extra 10,000 might to have an actual quantifiable difference. And then the criticals obviously is going to be higher based on the critical attack and everything else going up. So as you can see, even just being in a league, as long as you've got those 3 buffs, that's the impact it has as a player as your damage. So nothing else changed, the exact same rotation, the exact same variables, and then you're getting an extra 500,000 damage essentially, or an extra 10k damage per second. That's what you're missing by not having those league buffs there. So if you're in a league, you want to prioritize those 3 just for your damage. Like, yeah, of course other stuff's going to help your support in terms of how much healing you do, how much power you receive. Support stats is going to help your tanks and trollers, but if you're looking in terms of damage, which, you know, let's face it, DC Universe Online does revolve a lot about the damage. So if you're doing older content or doing older alerts or solos, duos, obviously damage is going to be more important than some of the support role ones. And obviously, if you eventually, as you gain prestige, which I have videos on how to help your league prestige as well, but as you gain out and fill out some of the other ones, then you're helping out those support roles. But just in terms of having not so much evidence, but in terms of you knowing how much those 3 league buffs impact your damage is also helpful as well. So it's one of those things where if you're not in the league and you're coming back as a player and you're noticing your damage is lower, well then that's why you can, just by stepping into a league and having those extra passive buffs, increase your damage fairly significantly. And that's nothing changing you as a player, nothing, you're not changing your rotation, anything like that. It's just having those passive buffs. So moral story, leagues are helpful, which you guys are already fully aware of, but at least now you have some numbers to explain it a bit more. So take care, guys. We'll see you in the next video.